Hi and welcome to a special episode of txtNationTV. I'm actually trying out, instead of using the camera, I'm using my iPad to try out this new app called touchcast. And I really shouldn't say new app, but a newer app called touchcast. It basically allows me to have this little thing down here at the bottom that you see there. And it also allows me to have this thing right there. And I think I can actually move this around. Let's see if I can. Can I move that around? No, can't really move that around. Okay, I'll have to play with it. But either way, this episode is going to be short, hopefully, and sweet. And basically what you see there is getting tired of AT&T. The idea is that, well, I'll be switching from AT&T to T-Mobile. Nothing about tech news really, except for that one story that you see there about basically T-Mobile announcing that they're going to be doing the RCS, basically the digital version of the analog text message that we've been doing since like the early 90s. Basically, they're upgrading their system to where now you can, just like your regular rich text apps that are like your Facebook Messenger, your Google app for Hangouts, your WhatsApp, your blah, 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 Apple, their stupid thing where you can actually see the person typing before they type, and you can also send images and stuff like that. Basically, the idea is that that's what they're upgrading to. Well, that was the announcement yesterday from T-Mobile. Well, a few days before that, last week actually, they announced a new family plan. And what they were talking about is 4 lines for, get this, $120. And you get 10 gigs for all 4 lines. How awesome is that? So basically, right now, currently, I am paying $135 for 30 gigs with AT&T. That's $135 at 30 gigs. So $15 less, and I get 10 gigs more with T-Mobile. That's right off the bat. Secondly, most of my data that gets spent with AT&T is through music streaming. Now, this is through Pandora for the most part. I'll do Amazon Prime Music. I'll do Google Music from time to time. But I would say 90% of my music streaming is through Pandora. So actually, that doesn't really matter with T-Mobile, because you know why? With T-Mobile, your music streaming is free. They do not charge for it on their service. Basically, if you're one of the top 37 music apps, which there's a lot of them out there that are out there, like Slacker Radio, Pandora, Google Music, Apple Music, the new iTunes Music radio station thing, they even cover that. Basically, you go to their website, check out the 37 apps that they cover, and it's pretty much everything that you can think of. If there's one out there and you want it, you can basically petition for it and sign up and say, hey, I want this one on there as well. So, really awesome. So, basically, with AT&T, all my data that gets counted against me for the most part, which is usually roughly in between 10 and 15 gigs a month, is mostly streaming music. Well, with with T-Mobile, I apologize, with T-Mobile, they don't charge for that. That's awesome. Another thing, with AT&T, and not AT&T, they are not the only ones that stand in on this. Verizon does the exact same thing. The difference is AT&T calls it Next, and Verizon calls it Edge. Basically, if you don't do their monthly plan for their phones, where you do the $20, $30, $40, whatever it is for the phone, they charge you the $100, $200, $300 price, whatever it is, and then they charge you monthly $40. That's $40. That's not for anything. That's for what they like to call a connection fee. Now, this fee is supposed to get you connected to the data that you're already paying for. So, for instance, for me, we have 5 lines, and 2 of those are being used by my mom and her boyfriend, and then 3 of those are being used by me. 2 for me personally, and then 1 for my iPad. So 5 devices, divide that up evenly. It's $27 a piece. So that's $27 for each of us, and then on top of that, it's $40 if we don't do their Next plan. And with Verizon, it's called Edge. Now, Verizon and AT&T both give you a discount, though, quote-unquote discount, if you go through and do their Edge or Next plan, which basically is the same thing as being charged the $100, $200 price and then paying $40 over your contract. But basically, you get dropped from a $40 price to $15. So you're saving $25. Now, I wouldn't really call this savings because they're still touting this as a connection charge. So for $15 per line, you get connected to your data, which to me is an arbitrary fee. It's something they've made up. There's no reason. I'm already paying $135. Why am I paying for that? So when I called and talked to T-Mobile and said, hey, this is what AT&T does, and this is what a friend of mine does on Verizon, they do the same thing. They were like, what's a connection fee? Now, I don't know if the person on the other end was trained to answer that way, but still, I like to hear that answer when I call T-Mobile and say, hey, what's going on? What do you guys do? Pretty much, I love to hear that, because at $15 or $40 per month over a 12-month, 16, 18, whatever contract that I would be signing with AT&T and Verizon, that's a lot of money. T-Mobile doesn't charge that. Once you pay your $120 for 4 lines, that's it. You're already using it. And the great thing about it is, hey, I've got 10 gigs per line, so now I've got 40 versus the 30 that I was getting with AT&T. Now, AT&T is, quote-unquote, doubling my data, as they touted when they first announced this, because I was originally on the 30 for $205 or $210, $225 I think it was, for 30 gigs. And then they were going to double our data this last fall, and so we were going to get 60. Well, there was no need for me to get 60, so I dropped down to the 15 gig package, which was the 15 gigs, and then they doubled it to 30. So great. I dropped my bill by $90. I was happy. Everybody was happy. We were great. Until T-Mobile came along and said, you know what? We'll do it for $15 cheaper and give you 10 more gigs. Basically, the idea is, and you'll see it on the website if you go to the T-Mobile website, it's $120. It's the first 2 lines are $50. There's your 100. The third line is $20, and then the fourth line is free. Now, the way they do this on the promotion is, say, 4 lines over $120 is $30 a piece. So however you want to look at that, if your 4th person is free, or if you just want to split it up evenly for all 4 people on the lines, you can actually charge them $30 a piece, and then there is no connection fee. The only thing is, much like T-Mobile started, everyone has followed suit, except for AT&T and Verizon charging the extra connection fee, but you have to pay for that phone as a monthly charge. The only thing is, with T-Mobile, and I'm pretty sure this might be with AT&T and Verizon and Sprint as well, it depends on your credit and how well, if you can actually walk in and get the phone with no down payment. Now, with T-Mobile, if you have an excellent credit rating and you go in there and get your phone, you can get it for 0 down and then pay your monthly cost over the period of whatever. And then if you decide to leave because there are no contracts with T-Mobile, another great reason to sign up with T-Mobile, because AT&T and Verizon still doing contracts for some reason. Unless you're on the Next program or the Edge program, that's not really a contract. It might be something else. It's stupid. But anyway, T-Mobile, no contract, and I'm saving a bunch of money. How awesome is that? So let's see. Strike 1, I get more gigs for less money. T-Mobile. Strike 2, I get free gigs of music streaming with T-Mobile. Awesome. All right, what else is there? Let's see. Oh, unlimited data. And I'll put unlimited in quotes, because basically with those 10 gigs per line, I can actually keep going with all my data and not get cut off at the end of the month. Now, they will slow me down after the 10 gigs is up. But with me basically doing nothing but streaming music, I'm not really worried about it. I might do YouTube here or there, but for the most part, it's going to be on Wi-Fi, and I'm around Wi-Fi a lot. So, not too bad. But with T-Mobile, if I want to add another 10 gigs, it's $10. Add another 10 gigs and you're good. Now, they do say somewhere in their small fine print that after 21 gigs, it's pretty much they start watching, you're flagged up. So just try not to go over 21 gigs. There's few of you out there that do. I range between 10 and 15, so it's completely up to you and what you do and how you use your data. But either way, I just use between 10 and 15, so I should be fine. And the same thing, though, with T-Mobile that AT&T does for the iPad, an extra $10. So, hey, the only thing I have to worry about is I just got my Galaxy S6 Edge, 64 gigabyte, and I've only put 3 payments on it. So I'm going to have to come up with $800 or find someone on Craigslist who wants to buy it for $800. And it's AT&T. And then you wouldn't have to be locked in the contract if you bought it outright. So if you know anybody, please let me know. Thanks, guys, for watching. That's pretty much the whole reason why I wanted to do this video, is because I'll be switching from AT&T T-Mobile very soon. My only problem is getting all 3 of us that are on the family plan all together, because we're all in different places and currently in different states right now. So trying to get that all together. Thanks again for watching, guys. And as I see the black behind me just comes on, that lets me know that that's been too much time. So stay tuned. Stay on everything. We're on youtube.com/txTNationTV. You're probably watching us there now. If you're not, subscribe, like the video, share if you can. Tell your friends this is the reason why you want to change to T-Mobile. If you want to check us out on Facebook, we are there. It's facebook.com/txtNationTV. If you do the Twitter thing, it's in the Twitterverse. That's right. Lost it right there. Twitter.com/txtNationTV. If you do Google Plus, it's gplus.to/txtNationTV. Again, still have 2 Google Plus pages, but either way, you can find us there. And everything, all things Tex Nation, you can find us at txtNationTV. And if you want to find me on Twitter, I'm at RustyG. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next episode.